Ruben Amarim has been appointed as the new head coach of Manchester United. He is the best student of Jose Mourinho. He's called a tactical mastermind, and Sporting supporters couldn't hold back their tears when they found out about Amarim's decision to leave them for a job in England. So, is this Portuguese guy really that good? What did Amarim manage to accomplish with the Lions, and how will Manchester United play under his guidance? Which footballers will benefit from his arrival and restart their careers at Old Trafford? Who will be Ruben's first transfer signings? And who will have to take a backseat because of the major restructuring? It's time to get to know United's new manager. After the sacking of Erik ten Hag, the Red Devils quickly identified their next coach and paid 10 million euros in compensation fees to Sporting for one of the most talented young managers in Europe, Ruben Amorim. The 39-year-old professional has accepted a 2-year contract with a 1-year extension option, while his move follows on from the Red Devils' struggles to turn around their crisis form, sitting in the bottom half of the Premier League table. Luckily, despite only 6 years of coaching experience, Amarim has already mastered the art of pulling clubs out of hard times and realizing their ambitious goals. At Sporting, Amarim promised that he would win the Portugal League twice in a row with them, even though the Green and Whites hadn't been able to do so for almost 70 years. In fact, their last league triumph was in 2001-2002, more than 20 years ago. Amarim kept his word and won the Primeira Liga in his debut 2020-21 campaign, as well as bringing Sporting back to gold this spring. Not only that, Ruben also won the Portuguese League Cup twice and celebrated the Super Cup victory once. Amarim was twice named the Portugal Coach of the Year as a result. As of this moment, Ruben and his charges have had a fantastic start to this season. The Portuguese won 9 out of 9 league fixtures, scoring 30 goals and conceding only 2. Now, a new chapter begins for Amarim. The 39-year-old Portuguese became the youngest Manchester United coach in the Premier League history, but his age does not concern anyone at the club. Quite the contrary. According to journalist Fabrizio Romano, all the top executives at Man United considered Ruben Amarim to be one of the most talented coaches around Europe and the world. Interestingly enough, Amarim has quite a history with the Red Devils. In 2018, he was an intern at Jose Mourinho's side back when the latter was in charge of the Premier League giants. The special one was impressed with Amarim's progress. I like him as a person. I like him as a coach. I think he has the conditions to be able to coach in any league, and he has the conditions to be able to coach in any club, Jose shared. Among other things, we should note that Ruben Amarim speaks English and can, for example, calmly discuss the VAR problems.
There's a lot of problems sometimes because it's a hard decision. But like I said, I didn't see the footage, so for me it was very good. For Antonio Conte, it was very bad.
Therefore, the Portuguese will have no trouble adapting, understanding the squad, and giving tactical instructions. By the way, there will be a lot of them, since the new Manchester United coach is very demanding of his football, and in Portugal he's called the next Mourinho for a reason. As a manager, Amarim is known for using 3-4-3 and 3-4-2-1 setups, with fullbacks laterals, 3 centre-backs, 2 defensive midfielders, and 2 insides put behind the striker. Reliable defense has always been the priority for Ruben, who keeps following in the best traditions of his teacher Mourinho. With him in charge, Sporting did not focus on quick ball recovery, but instead chose to defend threatening areas for the entire 90 minutes. Sometimes he dares to use high pressure, but when opponents manage to break out of the defensive block, Sporting quickly switched back to the middle block of the 5-2-3 formation. During the possession phase, Amarim's team did not chase ball control, rather playing vertically and straightforwardly, with the emphasis on quick transitions and attacks. Nonetheless, Sporting still launched its build-up with passes from deep. By making short combinations near their own box, Amarim's team tries to spark opponents' pressing. But here's the catch. Every time the rivals decide to press with a lot of effort, Amorim and his men use this space in the center of the field to instantly deliver the ball to their attackers in the other half. To elaborate, the build-up of the Mourinho pupil can be divided into several stages. At the first stage, which occurs near their goal, Sporting switched from 3-4-3 to a 4-2-2-2 system. The three centre-backs split up, with one of them moving up into defensive midfield area and creating a double support alongside a midfielder. Then, Amorim's strategy fulfills the tactical domino effect. Once the centre-back moves forward, one of the central midfielders goes even higher, to a position behind the striker and the inside, who also form a tandem up front. This way, Ruben Amorim's defense forms a 4-2 structure, making it incredibly difficult for Sporting's competitors to capitalize on the line's mistakes and get through this massive defense in the midfield or on the wings. As a matter of fact, under Amorim, Sportingistas became the team that in the 23-24 campaign ranked 11th in Europe for fewest opposition passes allowed per defensive actions. They were 53 positions ahead of Manchester United. Moving on. In the progression phase, the structure of Amorim's team turns into a flexible 3-2-5 with diamond patterns on the flanks and in the middle, though they can also switch to a 3-3-3-1. The back three make the first line. The second line is formed by the defensive midfielder and wing backs, who balance between making forward run-ins and maintaining basic positions. The third line is represented by one of the central midfielders, who holds the position in a 3-2-5 or turns into a number 10 in a 3-3-3-1 shape, joining the two insides. The latter, in turn, fill the semi-flank areas or move on the wide of the attack depending on the situation. At the spearhead, the striker is constantly testing the opposition defense with unexpected runs into the box and openings in free areas for crosses. These are actually not all aspects of Ruben Amorim's hybrid tactics, with his football being highly adaptive and entertaining, rather than defensive as it might seem at first glance. Last season, the Primera Liga outfit scored 96 goals in 34 match days, and in the current season, they have already netted 30 goals in 9 games. So, as you can see, Amorim knows exactly how and what he's doing when it comes to his style and attitude. Sure thing, there will be those performers at Manchester United who will benefit from Amorim's system, and those who will not. First of all, the 3-4-3 formation may be good for defender Lisandro Martinez. The Argentine is good at playing on the ball and holds up well under pressing. So, the role of left centre-back in the back three with transitions to the defensive midfield seems suitable for the Butcher. Well, Ruben's football philosophy also requires speedy and tough fullbacks who are ready to play along the entire sideline. It seems that this is where we could expect to discover the true potential of the 17-year-old United Academy defender Harry Amas. The youngster showed great performance at the start of the season back when Luke Shaw was injured. Moreover, the Red Devils supporters even demanded Amas' debut for the first team, but Erik ten Hag never dared to do so. Unlike the sacked Dutchman, Amorim loves experimenting with the young people in the lineup, and under his watch, Harry has every chance to unleash his talent to the fullest. Young stars Kobbie Mainoo, Amad Diallo, and Alejandro Garnacho also have every reason to be excited for the upcoming changes. Another footballer who will progress to the top level under Amorim could be Manchester's newcomer Manuel Ugarte. It must be recalled that it was Ruben who recruited the Uruguayan defensive midfielder from Sporting and upgraded him to the point of Manuel getting bought by PSG for 60 million euros. We talked about things that have nothing to do with football. I really like him. I learned a lot from him. I hope that in the future he will be my coach again. Ugarte noted earlier about Ruben Amorim. Expectations will go even higher in the case of Bruno Fernandes. The Portuguese playmaker is supposed to receive a lot of freedom in the 3-4-3 formation. Amorim could put Bruno as the inside, a central midfielder, or behind the forward. Just like Ugarte, Fernandes has already expressed his admiration for the coach, who is also his compatriot. Since Mr. Amarim arrived at Sporting, it has been one of the teams to play the best football. The club went 20 years without winning championships, and Amarim arrived and has already won 2. His qualities are there for everyone to see. Good. Now Amarim has to bring back the best version of Fernandes. We are waiting for the return of prime Bruno, as he was in his first years at Man United. Another player who requires the trust of the new coach is Joshua Zirkzee. The Dutch ace did not have time to fully shine with Erik ten Hag in the dugout and even thought about leaving the team in the winter. Emery must quickly fix the situation and find the proper solution to Joshua's case. Apparently, the Portuguese coach will also ask for strengthening in the transfer market. In January, Amorim intends to bring 3 of his now former players from Sporting: centre-back Gonçalo Inácio, as well as wingers Marcus Edwards and Pedro Gonçalves, according to Team Talk. But the biggest signing could be Lisbon superstar striker Victor Gyökeres, who has recorded 59 goals in 65 appearances under Amorim. This deal would make United fans excited beyond belief. However, the source adds that sales are also inevitable for the Devils, with Antony being the first to be dropped by Amorim. Aside from the Brazilian, Marcus Rashford, who hasn't shown much convincing displays in years, may also move out. Harry Maguire, Christian Eriksen and Casemiro are other candidates to be shown the exit door, as Amorim will prefer younger and more durable performers who can carry out all his ideas. Basically, here's how his potential Manchester United squad will look like. Andrea Onana in the goal. The back 3 with Gonçalo Inácio, Leny Yoro, Lisandro Martinez. Then we have wingbacks Diogo Dalot and Luke Shaw. Manuel Ugarte and Bruno Fernandes will operate in the center of the midfield. The attacking wings will feature Amad Diallo and Alejandro Garnacho, and Victor Gyökeres will take the striker's position. Believe it or not, but with such a top-notch selection of players, Amorim could possibly claim the Premier League in the coming years. Nobody believed in his Sporting project at the time, but they were the ones who became champions, and now Ruben is extremely motivated to do the same at Manchester United. Guys, what do you think? Is Amorim the perfect choice for the Red Devils? Share your thoughts in the comments down below, leave a like to this video, and check out the other cool episodes you see on your screens. Have a great time watching. Bye bye!